Hey, it's Tom
And Mike.
from Take Time to Travel.
Cartagena is a beautiful city with a vibrant party atmosphere, as well as so many delicious food options to choose from. Today, we're going to take you on a Cartagena street food tour to give you some ideas on what there is to eat in Cartagena, Colombia.
We'll start in the walled city with some typical fried street foods at this stall here, where they were frying up some arepas in this pot of oil over a charcoal fire. The arepas get fried once, then the fillings are added inside and are fried a second time. So we decided to get one of the arepas, which cost 4,000 pesos, as well as one of the papas rellena, which is a deep-fried potato ball. The papas rellena is stuffed with mashed potatoes and a savory meat filling, and the arepa has a crispy corn dough exterior and is stuffed with meat and eggs. I started with the papas, which I quite enjoyed. It was cheap and very tasty. The outside was a little bit crispy and inside had the consistency of shepherd's pie. It was tasty all by itself, but it was even better when I added a little bit of hot sauce to it, like the guy recommended.
Next was the arepa. So this is really hot, but I'm gonna try it anyways.
Okay. Good?
The second bite was much hotter than the first.
That was really hot.
Everything always tastes better when it's freshly cooked. Again, the arepa was great all by itself, but I preferred it with a little bit of the sauce. It tasted even better. Next, it was Tom's turn to give it a try.
It's still steaming hot, but it's good.
After that, we'll try some more fried food at this stall just down the street called Pacho Fritos Light. When we arrived, they were busy rolling out the dough and adding the fillings like ham and cheese for the freshly made empanadas, which he stamped around the edges to seal them. But instead, we decided to try the deditos de queso, or cheese fingers, which were actually one of our favorite street foods here in Cartagena. It was very tasty and inexpensive.
Now it's time for something healthy to eat. From this fruit cart across from Plaza de la Proclamacion, we chose the caimito, or star apple fruit, which he cut into quarters and sliced off the skin so that we could eat it right away. He originally wanted 10,000 for the caimito, but we settled on 5,000 pesos. We'd never seen a fruit like this before, so we were excited to try it. We both really enjoyed the caimito. It was nice and refreshing. We wish they grew these in Canada.
It's like a really juicy kind of plum. It's very good. I quite like this.
Next, we'll walk a few minutes over to this food cart where this friendly guy was selling enyucados, or cassava cake, to fund his studies in the U.S. Enyucado is a traditional Colombian dessert which is made with yuca and is very inexpensive. This sweet little square of enyucado only cost 1,000 pesos.
What's it taste like?
It's very doughy or spongy,
Yeah.
and it's got almost a cinnamony taste.
Oh, okay. Maybe nutmeggy a little bit too.
We would definitely get these again.
After that, we'll head over to the beach in Boca Grande for another sweet treat called cocadas, which are a typical Colombian dessert made of coconut and sugar with various flavors like milk, dulce de leche, panela, and pineapple. I decided to get this lighter colored one, and Tom got the orangey brown one. The cocadas cost 3,000 pesos each. The one on the left is pineapple, and the one on the right is milk flavored. Tom had the honors of trying these Colombian sweet treats first.
So it tastes like a lot of pineapple in it, and it's full of coconut, so really sweet and really tasty. So this one is the leche or milk, and it is light and creamy.
Both were great, but our favorite would have to be the pineapple one.
Next, we'll head over to Gethsemane for this popular food cart, which always has a line and is called Hamburges Gabrielle. Here you'll find huge piles of meat on the grill, as well as a large tray of melted cheese. They specialize in massive burgers and hot dogs stacked high with toppings, which looked so appetizing. But we decided to get another one of their popular dishes, which has a base of fried plantain or patacones and lettuce and is loaded with meat, shredded chicken, chorizo, butifarra sausage, and ham.
Don't those look delicious? And it gets better. After adding the sauce, they smother it with a nice big gob of melted cheese. And finally, they finish the patacones salchipapas with lots of fried matchstick potatoes, making for a very hefty meal. This was our favorite street food in Cartagena. It's perfect after a few drinks. It's like the Colombian version of a poutine.
Now we'll walk a couple of minutes down the street to this place called Shawarma Ruby, where we saw some Carimañolas and empanadas on display. We decided to get a chicken empanada with veggies, which was a nice little late night snack. It's hard to go wrong with fried foods, but it tasted even better when we added a little bit of guacamole sauce on top of it.
We also chose to get the chicken shawarma with tabbouleh salad and chickpea hummus, which was a fairly decent size. And I thought that it tasted pretty good with some of the guacamole sauce on top, even though I made a bit of a mess, as usual.
The next place is also in Gethsemane and is just a short walk over to the vibrant Calle 28. It's a super popular walking street lined with bars and restaurants with lots of patio seating and colorful decorations hanging overhead. We decided to come here for a nice cold drink and tried the Cono Romeo pizza cone, which was loaded with ham, basil, pepperoni, bacon, corn, and cheese. It was decent, but the service was horrible at El Callejon, and it was certainly not worth the 1.5 hour wait.
After that, we'll try another food cart in Gethsemane for a traditional Colombian treat called Buñuelos. It's like a round Colombian donut that is made with corn flour and cheese. We thought that this one was alright. It was a little bit sweet, but we certainly couldn't taste the cheese. It reminded us of a big plain Timbit. This guy was fairly friendly though.
Now we'll walk a couple of minutes down the street over to Pasaje Leclerc to this stall here for something nice and cold to drink. We got a Colombiana soda which cost 2,500 pesos.
After Tom struggled for a little while trying to open the bottle, I helped him out, and he gave the drink the taste test.
So it's carbonated and it tastes kind of like apple cola or sweet sparkling cider.
We actually quite liked it. But let's keep going and head over to the Manga neighborhood, where just in front of the Carulla Villa Susana supermarket, we found this guy who was selling tamales, which is a popular Colombian dish with a base of corn mash called masa and is filled with various toppings such as cheese, beef, pork, or chicken.
We decided to give one a try, so he cut open the corn husk, then portioned the masa into quarters. And finally, he opened up one of his bags and added a nice big chunk of cheese on top, which he also cut into quarters for us to make it easier to eat. This cheese tamale cost 4,000 pesos. We're not sure if that's a good price or not, but we quite enjoyed it. It was very tasty. We could eat these all day.
Okay, the cheese is really light, but the bottom is really, you can taste the corn in it. Very good.
The next street food stall is right across from Parque Lecida Segovia, where we found these happy ladies who had lots of traditional Colombian fried foods. A couple of things caught our eye, so we ordered them in some very broken Spanish and lots of hand gestures, which thankfully they understood. We got the Carimañola for 1,500 pesos, which is a tasty South American meat pie in a torpedo-shaped yuca fritter and stuffed with various fillings.
Okay, so it's got like the yuca around the outside, and then looks like some meat and cheese in the middle, and very tasty. Okay, this one's probably one of the best street foods we've had here. It's probably a good 8.5 or 9 out of 10.
We also decided to get one of their arepas, which cost 3,500 pesos and was a little bit crispy on the outside and was filled with eggs and meat inside. It was tasty, but we preferred the Carimañola. We probably should have added some sauce to it though.
So this arepa, it's a little bit lighter than the other one that we had, so it's got the egg in it, so it's fluffier, but I still like the taste of it.
After that, we'll head back to the walled city for another type of arepa from this stall across from Plaza de Bolivar. These arepas were thicker than the other ones we've tried, so we were curious to see how they tasted. We chose to get the ham and cheese arepa, which she added some butter to, and she also added another couple of scoops of cheese inside. This ham and cheese arepa cost 7,000 pesos, which was twice the price of the other arepa, so we had high expectations. Tom tried it first and thought it was just okay.
Pretty light tasting. It's got like a very soft kind of dough with a little crispy on the outside. Then there's the ham and cheese and butter. It's alright. Could probably use some hot sauce or something like that on it, but
Next, we'll try this cart, which is also just beside Plaza de Bolivar. We thought it was limes, but we were told it was actually lemon juice. It's amazing how quickly he squeezed the juice from the mini green lemons into the cups. Afterwards, he topped it off with a scoop of some more iced juice. Then we went into Plaza de Bolivar to give the small lemon juice a try, which I quite enjoyed. It's nice and refreshing on a hot day.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our Cartagena Street Food Tour. If you did, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe, and make sure to check out our day trip from Cartagena to the Rosario Islands. And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.